Hello everyone. Today we will begin with the cycle of 25 Phase B conferences of this self-knowledge course, in which we will be delving into the topics of inner knowledge. The Phase B conferences are aimed at people who have already studied the Phase A series, because they will have a better understanding of these Phase B topics. In the first 3 conferences of this cycle, we are going to touch again 3 topics that we saw in Phase A, because it is of the utmost importance that we have them clear and understood, in order to begin to see results in our inner work. And so that we can begin to corroborate all this information. Today we will talk about concentration and relaxation, a fundamental topic, since achieving a good concentration and good relaxation is what will allow us to be successful in our practices. In the next conference we will talk about the practice of meditation, and we will have a guided practice. And in the conference that follows that, we will talk about the practice of astral projection, and will also have a guided astral projection practice. The following topics of this cycle will deal with new aspects related to the initiation path that will lead us to self-realization, and we will touch on important topics for us to enter that inner path that will lead us to esoteric knowledge, as well as the understanding of certain symbolisms that have been veiled for people, or that have been misrepresented over time, because of the current involutionary process of this human race. So don't miss this interesting cycle that we will be sharing every week. And if you haven't yet seen the conferences from the Phase A of the course, I encourage you to look for all of them recorded in the video section of this page. Let's start today's topic by understanding what concentration is. The very word concentration is showing us that consciousness is centered, that is focused on action. We are concentrated when our conscious part is the one that is present and directing any action that we are carrying out. Concentration is a very great power that allows us to be successful in everything we undertake. Concentration occurs when we learn to live in the present moment, in the eternal now, as consciousness can only manifest in the here and now. It is important to understand that when we are distracted, we are mentally and emotionally in some other place or at some other time, past or future, in our psychological country. So we manage to be concentrated when we are fully present in a self-aware state, and our mental, emotional, instinctive, motor, and sexual functions are working towards the same purpose. We are concentrated when our different functions are working in unison, with our heart as the center. We are concentrated when only one thought is sustained. When we sustain full attention on what we are doing, we can achieve inspiration, and an instant later success. You will see that the key to succeed in any practice is concentration. That is why we must practice and fight until we achieve concentration. Concentration is something that we must exercise throughout the day. We cannot spend all day mentally and emotionally wandering, and then at night, for example, wanting to do an astral projection practice and pretending that we are going to achieve concentration. If we are concentrated during the day, we will continue to be concentrated during the night. If in the day we are mentally wandering, in the night too. So it is very important that we learn and exercise to do everything we do in the day, in a concentrated way. There are 2 types of concentration, one in the inner world and the other in the outer world. Both are very important. We must always remain in that state of inner concentration, in constant self-remembering. And from that inner concentration, by becoming aware of everything that tries to distract us and steal our energy, and eliminating it, we will be able to stay focused, and successfully carry out any activity we do in the outside world. We must develop the capacity of doing all external activities in a concentrated way, as well as the capacity of performing all our internal practices such as meditation, sexual transmutation, astral projection, etc., in a concentrated way. Concentration is the opposite of distraction. Concentration is from consciousness, distraction is from the psychological eyes. If we study our distraction, we will end up in concentration. If we can discover all the selves or distracting elements that are taking us from the present moment, and we eliminate them, we will achieve concentration. Learning to center the consciousness in the action requires a lot of practice, since the sense of psychological self-observation that will allow us to discover all this distracting elements is atrophied in almost all human beings. But with constant practice, by exercising the ability of self-observation, we will regenerate this sense, as through this sense the consciousness is centered in the action. How can we practice concentration? There are certain points that we must take into account so that we can stay focused when carrying out any activity, be it exterior or interior. One important point is to always make an effort to do one thing at a time. Because when we are trying to carry out many things at the same time, we are dispersed and cannot carry out each thing in a concentrated way, which leads us to make mistakes and constantly get distracted. We must stay in the present moment focused on the action or practice we are doing, without thinking about anything else. Without unnecessarily interrupting one thing to do another. Not thinking about things to do later, because that will take us out from the present moment, to wander worrying or yearning for the future. Not remembering things that have already been done. And staying focused on what we do. We will continue to eliminate, with psychological death, everything that manifests itself in us, and that is trying to get us out of that state of concentration. And we will do so with everything we are going to do. That way we will start being successful in the practices we do for awakening our consciousness, and in general, in anything that we undertake. Something that can help us to do the different activities of our daily life in a concentrated way, is to take a few minutes every day to make a schedule of activities. In that schedule we will write down all the activities that we have to do during the day and the order, or schedule, in which we will do them. This will help us not to be planning or thinking about what we will have to do later, but we can focus on each action at each time. It is important to prioritize in our schedule the practices for awakening our consciousness that we will carry out during the day, to prevent personality things from taking up all of our time. If we put order in the activities of the day, we will see how we will be more productive, we will make fewer mistakes because we will be able to do things in a concentrated way, we will have much more time to carry out the things we must do, and most importantly, we will be able to make more progress in psychological death and the liberation of our consciousness. This because by being concentrated and self-observing at all times, we will be able to discover the defects that appear in us from moment to moment. If we carefully observe the multiple activities of our daily lives, we will realize that each one of them is done mechanically, since when doing them, we are thinking about other things. And that same fact prevents us from being centered. It also prevents us from seeing all the psychological defects that manifest in us at every moment. We wake up, get up, walk to the bathroom, undress, shower, dry, dress, put on shoes, make the bed, eat breakfast, brush our teeth, say goodbye, go out, etc. But we don't self-observe ourselves from moment to moment, which means that our consciousness is asleep due to lack of use. We do things with our consciousness asleep, and because of that, there is no self-discovery. If we begin to self-observe ourselves, we will discover each one of the selves that participate in each action, that act mechanically, making mistakes, stressing us, causing us worries, distracting us, and preventing concentration. When we begin to observe all this, we realize directly the chaos in which we find ourselves. And that we can only order it through permanent relaxation. What is relaxation? Relaxation is a state of no tension. And that is the natural state of consciousness. On the contrary, tensions belong to the ego. We are tense when some psychological defect has taken over the human machine. The interesting thing is to discover how we spent most of the day with different tensions throughout the body, as well as mental, emotional and sexual tensions. And in that state, the defects are taking away all our energy, leading us to end the day completely exhausted. What causes us tension? Tensions are produced by our constant desires. We know that each desire is a self that wants to manifest itself. They are also caused by negative emotions, such as worry, anxiety, fear, etc. We also become tense when we carry psychological songs and wrong psychological states. All types of thoughts generate different tensions in us. The worries, the incessant internal chatter, as well as the struggle between the different selves within us when we face indecisions, doubts, internal debates, etc. When we become aware of any defect that is producing tension in any part of the machine, we must necessarily relax, so as not to exhaust energy unnecessarily. And how are we going to relax? Once we discover, through self-observation, the defect that is causing us attention, and we understand that it is just draining our energy unnecessarily, we will plead to our Divine Mother like this: My Mother, eliminate this defect. If in those moments we beg our particular Divine Mother to eliminate the defect that is producing tension in this or that center, be it in our emotional, intellectual, sexual, motor, or instinctive center, we will notice that she acts immediately, relaxing the place where we have observed the defect. But it is necessary to understand why we are tense for the Mother to act. Tensions occur for many reasons. When we do something that we don't like. When we are afraid that something we are doing will be wrong. When we want to do something that we like more. When what we are going to do later worries us. When what we did before didn't work out well. When what we did before was very good. When we don't know how to do what we're doing. When we are worried about something we will have to do. When we're distracted by something. So we must remain alert to become aware whenever we begin to feel tension, to immediately eliminate it. In this way, we will be in a permanent state of relaxation. How do we know that we are already relaxed? It happens when all tension has disappeared, and our psychology has normalized. We feel good and we can focus on what we do. As you can see, to be successful in anything we do, but especially in the practices that will lead us to awaken consciousness, it is absolutely necessary that we begin to develop the ability to stay focused and relaxed. There is also a general relaxation practice that we must learn and do before doing any practice, as it will help us ensure that we enter the practice perfectly relaxed. This relaxation practice allows us to put both the physical, emotional, and mental part in harmony. To relax the physical body, we concentrate on each of the parts of the body. Where our thoughts are, our consciousness will be, therefore we must imagine and feel each of the parts of our body in order, and we can imagine a warm and bright light that illuminates and relaxes each part of the body. We begin by relaxing the right leg. We relax the foot, finger by finger. Then the sole, the instep, the heel, the ankle, the calf, the knee, the thigh. The entire leg. Then the left leg. The foot, toe by toe, sole, instep, heel, ankle, calf, knee, thigh. The entire leg. Then we move on to relaxing the right arm. The hand, finger to finger, palm, back, wrist. Then the forearm, the elbow. The entire arm. The same with the left arm. Then we relax the gluteal area, the genitals and the hips. Then the abdomen, waist, chest, shoulders and the back. The whole trunk. We continue relaxing our neck, throat, jaw, tongue, lips, cheeks, nose, eyes, eyebrows, forehead, ears, scalp. The whole head. And then we command all the muscles, nerves and tendons to relax, be still and calm down. We can repeat this procedure 3 times until we feel that our body is comfortable and relaxed. For the relaxation of the astral body, or emotional part, we concentrate on the breathing, observing the entrance and exit of the air. We can do this for around 3 minutes until we feel that our emotional part is well relaxed. We can also several times inhale slowly and deeply through the nose, hold our breath a little, and exhale quickly through the mouth, imagining how all the emotional tension is expelled when exhaling the air. For the relaxation of the mental body, or intellectual part, we concentrate on the heart, and on listening to noises from the outside world for 3 minutes. Without becoming identified with any of the sounds we hear. We just listen to a sound, and let it go, and we look for increasingly distant sounds, until we experience how the mind calms down and relaxes. Now, there is a practice that is good to keep in mind and dedicate time to it every day, because it helps us a lot to develop the ability to stay concentrated. This practice is called watch and pray. We recommend before doing the practice to clean the energy of the environment with the singing of the Bei Li Lin, and with the magic circle of protection, that we learned in Lesson 7 of the Phase A of the course. Then we plead for assistance to the Divine Father and Mother to help us in the practice. We make a relaxation process, observing that the whole body is comfortable. And when already relaxed, we just concentrate on the heart to listen and observe the inner world. And we beg the Divine Mother to disintegrate each little detail that we observe that comes to distract us and to take us out of that self-aware state. We eliminate it, and we immediately return to concentrating on the heart. This details can be thoughts, emotions, sensations, worries, anxiety, or anything that takes you out of the state of vigilance and out of the here and now. It can be done until the perfect concentration is achieved before doing any other practice. Or you can specifically dedicate, for example, 20 minutes daily to this practice. Well, and this has been today's topic. Hope you find it very useful. I invite you to the second topic of Phase B, in which we will do a guided reflective meditation practice, so that we have a very clear step-by-step approach to this important practice for self-knowledge. Thank you very much to everyone who watches the video. And if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments, and we will be happy to solve them. Until next time.